I have to say that Shiamak Davar is very difficult to get. The big Bollywood directors will run after him, but he will not choreograph for them. But Raell Padamsee is somebody he never says no to.
So, the Theatre Group Bombay, which was actually founded by my family, this was the first English theatre group in the country, founded by my uncle Bobby Padamsee and my parents, and a lot of other people actually took it on and went on and on and on and do a lot of wonderfully interesting theatre. We also do 450 to 500 plays, not shows, but plays. That means different plays with our children with professional light, sound, costumes, the works. And for that, you have to have directors. So we have almost 60 directors on hand who are actually working with these kids down the year. So they get to perform on the stage and get that whole, what can I say, that whole importance, the fact that they feel that they're on stage. There's something that's very dear to my heart, which is the art of giving. Everyone has the art of living, but this is the art of giving workshop where across the board is something that we want to be able to encourage our children across the schools to be able to understand that it's not only about, those X number of marks you get when you do some CSR activity. It's something that's endemic, something that has to be built into one. And why I say this is because it was built into me. My father made sure from day one, I think when I left the womb, it was give back.
It's what I call a magical musical, and only Rael Padamsee could do this. 150 incredible kids and a fantastic adult ensemble, creating a colorful, inclusive world filled with laughter, adventure, and heart. Please welcome my guest of the day. It's Rael herself. What I'm talking about is the world premiere of Alice in Paradise. We're official radio partners at 94.3 Radio 1. It is an absolute treat. This is choreographed by Shiamak Davar's Victory Arts Foundation, and I cannot wait for you to experience Raell Padamsee Ace Productions and the Create Foundation's Alice in Paradise. Tickets are live, going out very, very fast. Last few ones left. So no FOMO here, fear of missing out. Go get them at Book My Show or at the venue, which is the National Center of Performing Arts, November 30th at the Tata Theatre. Hello, Rael. So wonderful to see you. How are you?
Hi, Hrishi K. All good, all great. Covering from yesterday, where we had this massive, massive technical rehearsal with over 250 of us. So it was quite logistically, it was quite a trip, but lots of fun, lots of fun.
I'm going to start with the Create Foundation, which will ideally lay a foundation for us to talk about Alice in Paradise. Talk to me about how you're using art to transform lives and what the ethos of the Create Foundation is all about.
Right, right. We founded this in 2002 in memory of Mummy, of course. For those who don't know, Mummy is Pearl Padamsee, and she worked a lot with theatre, of course, and children across the city. She taught in 5 schools, and we thought we'd take her legacy forward, and we started the Create Foundation. Since then, we've been working with children from marginalized backgrounds, integrating them with children from mainstream schools. Very important integration and inclusivity. It just doesn't exist, unfortunately, in India, and we're very keen that we keep that as our prime focus. And apart from that, of course, we bring life skill training to children from 20 different NGOs. They're all from marginalized backgrounds, but a lot of them are challenged. So they're hearing impaired, sight impaired, mentally challenged. They have physical disabilities as well. So it's very diverse, and it's not a one size fits all. So we use theatre. We work with them on their life skills, their communication skills, their personality building, etc., etc. And we have fantastic performances at the end of the year where they actually perform what they've learned. And the kind of confidence and communication, skills that this gives them is, you can't really uh, figure out how much it really helps them because it's over the top. They are such a different children after this 1 year program that we run, and they come back, of course, the next year and the next year. And this is so important for them because finally, I want them to be able to sit at the table with you and me and be able to get better jobs. That's the whole idea, you know. So we work with them on their interview skills, everything. So tomorrow they can really step up and move their families out of the circle of poverty. Yeah.
Now, this is a logical question. Why Alice in Paradise? And most
Woo!
importantly, what I love about everything that you do, Ryle, is that it's contemporary. You don't take a
Yeah.
piece of art and say, I'm going to just deliver it as is. You've always done your own twist on it to keep with the times. So let's talk about Alice in Paradise now.
So, Alice in Paradise has really been born from our work with children across the city. So, we work with a lot of children. We work with almost 12,000 kids across the city. And we realized we've done a lot of research, we've understood them. And the sad part about it is that the current situation hasn't really helped them too much with digital media, social media. Their communication skills have, plummeted. Their social interaction is nil. Their family life is pretty much, it's quite a sad situation. But obviously, there are some, parents, etc., who understand that this is really a key issue, and they work with us very, very closely to be able to get their children up and running and right back to, quality life, quality basics, etc. So we realized that there was too much disconnection. We designed a play working with these very contemporary subjects. So Alice is the perfect place. She goes to these different lands. She goes to social media land where nobody talks to her. Everybody is into their gadgets. Where of course she meets the caterpillar and his two cronies. Then she moves into the urban jungle and she meets the Queen of Hearts, who's presiding over the Queen's necklace at Chop Party, where everything is remove all this. We can't have all this nonsense. Beaches? Who wants beaches? Build my malls. And, I want to, how can I have trees? I can't, hang my handbags on trees. I want malls. I want this. So just taking a very close take on what's happening today in the city, what is actually being accepted as the norm. It should actually be the exception than the rule. So, and how to change that? How do we actually be part of the solution? Because I really believe through all our work in the theatre now, we're very focused on creating social change and social impact. It's too important. And it's such a great platform, to be able to do that. So Alice in Paradise works on those, works on families, works on family life. It's very interactive. It's great to go to with your family and your kids or your grandkids or whoever. I had a preview yesterday and I brought in a whole lot of adults and it's, oh my God, okay, really, that relates to me. So yeah, so it's been written by our team and primarily Craig Recorders, who's the director as well. And it just addresses everything. The songs have been, designed to be able to get people ab- absolutely singing the lyrics. So it's important that way as
Well, I'm a Ryle's ace parent twice over,
well.
and I know that the parents go through as much change as the children do. So, just short anecdotes from you of both children as well as parents and how they've reacted at just, things that have happened at rehearsal for Alice in
Right,
Paradise.
right. So, we have, like I mentioned, we have a lot of children. So a lot of them need their parents to come in. A lot of them are physically challenged. So, we get to interact with the parents as well. And we ask them, how has this impacted you? How has your child changed in any way? And they're just so over the top because they've seen the difference, they've seen the confidence, the fact that people actually validate their children, which is so important. I think in a very, very exclusive world that we live in, to build in this kind of inclusivity is very important. So the parents are very, very happy that we're actually doing this for the children and that the children have accepted it so well and blossomed from it. That is the most important thing. And the impact we can see. So that's really, really nice to feel. And of course the kids feel so validated. So one of the children actually turned on and said, I feel so happy because I'm finally being seen, and that meant so much in so many different ways as you can interpret it. It wasn't not necessarily only on stage, but as an individual, I was being accepted and brought into the mainstream, which is most important. That's what I believe, that all these children must be brought into mainstream so that we also understand that they exist. I mean, and we've been doing this for the longest time. As you know, Hrishi K from Sound of Music to My Fair Lady to all kinds of our big productions, we always have this element of inclusivity. It's too important for them.
Well,
Yeah.
I have to say that Shiamak Davar is very difficult to get. The big Bollywood directors will run after him, but he will not choreograph for them. But Raell Padamsee is somebody he never says no to. Let's talk about the team behind the show. So wonderful that Shamak and his Victory Arts Foundation are behind Alice in Paradise. Also, some of the other members of the behind the show contingent,
Yeah,
please.
absolutely. So we have, it was so wonderful. I literally just called them up and I said, "Listen, I'm doing this. This is what I need. Blah blah blah. We have 150 kids. We would like them choreographed. When is it, darling? Yes, no, yes, 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 yes. God, finished. Boom. That was it. And we started rehearsing the next week. You know what I'm saying? So it's lovely. And he's done it through his Victory Arts Foundation, and ours is the Create Foundation. So it works very well together. And I think we believe in the same vision. So there's nothing, I mean, there's no question about it. He's a dear friend and a lovely, lovely, what can I say, lovely person, so kind hearted. And he's got a great team. So we have Chetan, who's with us, who's actually working with the kids with four other choreographers. And we have, of course, our Christina, who's, coordinating all that. We have a really big team. And of course, we have Craig Quadris, who's directing, like I said, and he co-wrote it. He's also our technical director. So he's really got many hats on right now. Yesterday, I think he was having a quiet nervous breakdown, but he's very sanguine and he never lets on. Yeah, so there's a lot of them. We've got a great costume designer who's, just delivered so well into 200 costumes. So it's quite a big thing, and we have a lovely team, like I said. So there's everybody allocated to different things that they have to actually get up and running for our lovely children.
It's been,
Right. So just to give you an idea, I'm just telling you because of the
yeah, yeah.
logistics. So we give them, everybody has to have breakfast, lunch, dinner. So breakfast, lunch, tea, dinner. So that's 4 meals in the day for 250 people. So you can figure out that's 1,000 meals a day. So
Wow.
into X number of shows, which is 10 shows, which is 10,000, plus all our technicals in this, which is another 3 to 4. So the logistics alone are quite crazy. And of course, the expenses are equally so, but we're very, very lucky and very grateful for a lot of people who supported us over the years. It's been so wonderful because they give us the opportunity to do this, which is so important.
Listen, it's been 4 decades since you launched Ace Productions. This is theater with a
Can you
purpose.
imagine?
Talk about that legacy. This is your moment. Tell us about all that you've achieved, and then we can move on to the vision for the future for Create, which is so important.
Right. So, we actually, like I mentioned, we have about 12K students that we teach through the year, but we also do 450 to 500 plays, not shows, but plays. That means different plays with our children with professional light, sound, costumes, the works. And for that, you have to have directors. So we have almost 60 directors on hand who are actually working with these kids down the year, so they get to perform on the stage and get that whole, what can I say, that whole importance, the fact that they feel that they're on stage performing, and that it comes to a culmination, which is a professional culmination, in that it's not just a school production per se, and all our work is related to something to do with value building. So whether it's the environment, whether we're talking about Mumbai as a city and what we can do to help, whether we're talking about the older children about key issues of bullying, certain personality development issues, etc. So that's all that we do with our kids across. And of course, we want to build impact. That's the most important. Social change, impact. We don't just do theatre or speech and drama for the sake of it. We have such a bigger vision and mission. So that's how we manage to get it all up and running.
Create itself, you gave us a wonderful background, but you're looking at the future with a very keen eye. I believe you're involved with training members of the Nirbhaya squad. Gender equality is a very big thing. Elderly people in a second innings for them, and most importantly, dogs and animal care. So, if you could just go over all the stuff that you have as your vision for Create, that'll be wonderful.
Right. So, Create, like I said, started with only children, and we worked with inclusion. When we turned 20 years, I said, this year we have to work with women. And that's been my very, very pet project for a long time. So we're talking about empowerment for women and, of course, violence against women. We're trying to work out how we can get that up and off out of the picture because it's 2025, Hrishi K. It's ridiculous that we're talking about these absurd things today. And it's not only in India, it's a global situation. So I mapped it out very clearly. We're working a lot with the Mumbai police with the 103 women's helpline number, where we got a whole lot of celebrity support to come in and amplify it. So we reached 100 million people through that campaign, which I'm very happy to say that, it made a big dent and made a lot of noise. We are also training the Nirbhaya squad. Nirbhaya is the actual women's squad that goes out. So if you call the 103 number, in 10 minutes, you get a Nirbhaya squad coming to you. And those are the women police who actually come to you and, figure out what's happened, help you, etc., etc. Apart from that, of course, we're working with, which I think this is really important because we talked till we're blue in the face about women and how difficult it is for them. They know it, we know it. You don't have to preach to the converted. We are talking now to the men in our communication. So we designed a whole brilliant play using the Forum Theatre to work with men in the bastis, and that's kicking off in January. So we're very excited about that, where the men are going to come up with their own solutions as to how to deal with this issue of violence, domestic violence, sexual violence, child abuse. There's so much going on. And I don't say it's only in the bastis, I say it's across the board, but we're doing this as a pilot project and then taking it across the city. So that's very interesting. And now for my favorite, the most important thing to do with the women's space, which is, I feel like, we're like a lost generation pretty much. We have to talk to the kids. We have to talk about gender equality. If we don't talk about it to them, we're going to have the same circle, absolutely, where misogyny, rules supreme, patriarchy rules supreme, because that's what they see in their lives. Why would they want to change? They don't know any different. So we've tied up with the BMC and we're starting from, again, January, we're starting a pilot program for 3 months with 4 schools, believe it or not, Hindi, Marathi, English and Urdu, where we're going to be talking about and working with gender equality through drama for 3 months and seeing how that works and getting the parents involved, etc. So that's very, very, what can I say, dear to my heart. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time, and it's really touchwood kicking off in Jan. We also started this lovely thing called Second Innings, which is for people over the age of 55. And this I've decided now, we used to do it across the board, but now I've decided to only keep it for marginalized communities, and we're working with them. So the medium of communication is very tough because it's only Marathi or Hindi. So our instructors and facilitators are, having a slightly tough time with the Marathi. But we have Michelle on board, and she really handles it so well with them. So we're working with them on drama, on dance, and art therapy. So here again, it's all about, making them feel validated, making them understand that they are so much a part of our community and how much we value them. They've taken our children, their grandchildren through so much, so many years. So they should not feel marginalized in any way. We have to get them more inclusive and into the mainstream and to the mainframe. Yep. So that's really what we're doing. And of
I'm
course, the
interested.
wonderful.
I'm interested in mainstream education. I mean, where are you as far as that is concerned? I believe there's a plethora of programs and workshops that you built for mainstream schools, personality development, and etiquette.
Right. I find that also, because of all this digital and social media, etc., we've lost the plot with our kids, and that's adolescent kids basically. So we're working very strongly on this. We've designed a fantastic personality and etiquette program where we bring in these elements where, you know, they're able to understand how important it is, how important social interaction is, how important it is to be able to communicate effectively and not this, yo bro kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, they have to go out there in a couple of years and get jobs. They have to be able to, secure themselves. So very interestingly, we've developed that. We also next year there's something that's very dear to my heart, which is the art of giving. Everyone has the art of living, but this is the art of giving workshop where across the board is something that we want to be able to encourage our children across the schools to be able to understand that it's not only about, those X number of marks you get when you do some CSR activity. It's something that's endemic, something that has to be built into one. And why I say this is because it was built into me. My father made sure from day one, I think when I left the womb, it was give back or else, So I think that's why I have this kind of understanding how important it is. And of course, I think the most important are the parents. So we've designed a lovely, effective parenting workshop where the parent, and you switch on a switch and expect it to be a parent overnight. Hrishi K, you must be having enough. What can I say? Stepping into a lot of puddles along the way.
All the time, all the time.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I mean, no one knows really what the right answer is. So just to be able to get that up and running, and make sure that our children have the best and most effective parenting. It's not about keeping up with the Joneses, or it's not about keeping up with the base size, but the idea is to be able to uh, let our children blossom, let our children fly. Really, that's the most important thing, with, of course, a certain amount of guidance.
I like this two pronged approach. One is modernizing the classics, and the other is the revival of Shakespeare, making Shakespeare accessible and keeping classic theater alive. So that's one
Right.
piece, the classics, and the other piece is expanding the future of Indian theater. So I think talk on both those fronts, please.
Right. So, the Theatre Group Bombay, which was actually founded by my family, this was the first English theatre group in the country, founded by my uncle Bobby Padamsee, and my parents and a lot of other people actually took it on and went on and on and on and do a lot of wonderfully interesting theatre. A lot of it had to do with Shakespeare as well. And, my father was a Shakespeare buff. So, in memory of him and his legacy, we decided to do a whole evening of Shakespeare, which we did recently with Sabira and Roger and Farid and everybody, Ronnie, etc. And we're taking that forward now. It's in December. We have two more shows of that, keeping it very how can I say contemporary in the sense relating it to the now. It's so relatable right now. I think it's so important that young people, high school kids, college students, anybody actually gets to sample this in by the veterans and the thespians of English theatre, which we luckily managed to get on board. It's very tough. They also have found it a little tough because it's been a while since they've been on the stage, etc. But it's really worked out very well. So that is what we want to do: take it to schools, colleges, etc. Keep the memory and the essence of Shakespeare alive, especially because it was one of my dad's favorites. And of course, keeping all kinds of the classics relevant to today to be able to get them um, to do important and interesting theatrical works.
You want to shout out to supporters, people you wouldn't have gotten this far with. I mean, you have all the ideas, but at the end of the day, you need philanthropists to lend their helping hand, and
Absolutely,
and we need to
absolutely,
doff our hat to them.
absolutely. And we're also, I just wanted to mention, we just come back from a trip from the US with Shabana's Broken Images. We did 6 shows across 10 cities. It's really did phenomenally well. Of course, she broke her foot on the way. That's another story for another day. But she was a real trooper. She went on to do that. But of course, so we're moving to take a lot of stuff out of India and out there, all our plays. But we cannot absolutely do it without the help and support of all our supporters. So of course, there's Chandra from the Tata Group. There's Deepak Parekh. There's Neeraj Bajaj from Bajaj and Beyond now. And of course, the Rotary has been very supportive this year. And Nupur Desai has been so supportive with all the projects that we're working on. So whether it's the women's project, whether it's the Alice, it's so lovely. We have Ashish Gumashta, Kaushik Deva, Dr. Kashyap, all the way from America, Dr. Julie, all the way from Dubai, Vinti Loda, Piyu Tata, a lot of them who really come forward and really support us in any way that they can. And I'm so grateful and happy and touched. And that's really how we can do what we do. Otherwise, that's really a thought in one's head without this kind of support. Yeah.
There you
And
have
of
it.
course, you Rishikesh, who
Always,
always I just
always,
pick up the phone and I say, "Hey, we're doing this," and you're so gung ho about everything that we do. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Proud
always
and
there
feel
for you, Ryle.
great.
Always there for you. Now, go support the Create Foundation. Support Shiamak Davar's Victory Arts Foundation. All you have to do is get to book my show or at the NCPA box office and get your tickets. Last few going out for Alice in Paradise. This is spectacular stuff. The world premieres November the 30th at the Tata Theatre NCPA. Pure theatre magic. We will keep you posted on more shows, but suffices to say that you want to see this magical musical with 150 incredible kids and a fantastic adult ensemble. Rael, thanks very much. Lots of love
Thank
and see you soon.
you. All the best. See you at the theatre. Thanks a lot.
94.3 Radio 1.